who depended entirely on the kindness of Craigslist for a month and didn't get murdered over a massage. Congrats, sir. Plus, Danica McKellar will be here to teach us the ins and outs of curves, the geometry kind of curves, just to be clear. And now, Candace Bailey, the pleasure is mine. Hi. Hi.
Now, just wait until we go around the net because I've got a Spider-Man being a D-bag.
Whoa!
And a fancy walking robot.
Alright.
Will usually suck unless it's Corvette driving school.
Alright.
And after it gets the best education on wheels later in the show.
Alright.
Speaking of education, here's Neil again.
Yeah.
Take it away, Neil.
Thank you. Hey, if you've ever purchased antique jewelry or dubious movie props over the web, chances are you used eBay, the world's most popular online auction site. And if you haven't, it's actually incredibly simple. With just a few clicks of a button, you can be on your way to bidding on items like used golf balls, Civil War bullets, or a glittery blue scrote sack for your truck's trailer hitch. Yep. You can buy just about everything on eBay, unless, of course, it has anything to do with the mystical dark arts. As of August 30th, eBay will be ending the sale of tarot readings, potions, and magic spells. When questioned, a representative from eBay said the items were being removed because transactions in these categories often results in issues that can be difficult to resolve. I believe it. Have you ever tried to get a refund from a witch? One little complaint, and now my entire tomato crop has rootworms. As does my penis. A woman named Vicki Jo Mills of Air Township, Pennsylvania, could face life in prison for being a needy girlfriend. It seems over the course of 3 years, she has been allegedly poisoning her boyfriend by pouring Visine eye drops into his drinking water, all because she wanted him to pay more attention to her. That's a first. Apparently, the boyfriend, Thurman Edgar Nesbitt III, who, just to avoid confusion, is this guy and not this guy, had been plagued for years with symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, difficulty breathing, and various blood pressure problems until doctors found, quote, an extremely high level of whatever this word is in his bloodstream. Visine poisoning seems pretty cold, but in her defense, she was just trying to get the red out of his intestinal tract. Now, there are two really surprising things about this story. One, that it didn't take place in Florida. And two, Visine is poisonous? It goes in our eyes. This got me thinking, what other regular, everyday items are potentially poisonous? So I checked into it. There's nutmeg, which in large doses can cause hallucinations, hypertension, coma, and death. Too much vitamin D can cause kidney damage, cardiovascular disease, premature aging, and death. And I know a guy whose head popped off during a tickle fight. So seriously, that's a real app. So seriously, just stay inside and don't eat or breathe or in any way use your fingers or your skin because nothing is safe. New research shows that college students who engage in binge drinking are happier than their non-binging peers. But not for the reason you would think or not think because you're too drunk to think at all. Apparently, binge drinking is associated with status on campus, and so binge drinking students tended to be happier than with their social lives. Because when it comes to college these days, you're either happy enough to have your own beer pong table or sad enough to actually use it for ping pong. Now, for college kids, the most popular drink is something called anything they can get their hands on. But a new Gallup poll found that the beverage of choice for Americans is beer, probably because beer is the least sad way of getting hammered. Someone walking around with a six-pack of beer is an American hero. Someone walking around with a liter of vodka is your dad. And beer is also popular at the White House. The Obamas made culinary history at their Super Bowl party last year when they served home-brewed White House honey ale made with honey from the White House beehive. And now President Obama is carrying a special supply of the stuff around on the campaign trail and is giving it out to folks, although some people still claim the beer is imported and demand to see its beer birth certificate. Still ahead, we'll talk with Craigslist Joe about how we survived 31 days with nothing but a Craigslist account right after this. off, the kindness of strangers don't get to be in a documentary about it, but the internet helped make our next guest special. Please welcome the director and star of Craigslist Joe, Joe Garner, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, so first of all, just explain the premise of the movie to people.
Okay, so I spent 31 days living entirely off Craigslist. I had no money, no contact with anybody I knew, and all my interactions came from Craigslist.
Food?
All my food, all my places to sleep, all my rides, everything.
How do you place a Craigslist ad for food?
That was tricky. I did find someone giving away milk because she was going out of town, and by the time she was coming back...
From her breast?
Well, unfortunately, no. It was just from a carton. But she said, I'm going out of town for a week, and I just bought this milk. It's going to go bad by the time I get back, so anyone's welcome to have it if you show up at my door.
And how far were you from the milk? Was it...
It was a few states over, so I didn't get that milk. But a lot of times I would see events on Craigslist, like yoga in the park or volunteering, and they'd have food there. So I was able to kind of get enough food to sustain me for the month.
All right, I watched the movie today, and it's awesome.
Thanks.
The guy, but you had a cameraman.
One cameraman, yeah.
He must have been eating.
We gave him a meal stipend, so he didn't have to follow the same rules, which was very challenging. After the second day, I just couldn't be around him when he was eating.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah, he would leave fries on his plate. And I'm like, I haven't eaten in 3 days.
And you were good about it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't...
Never touch it. And I told him before. I actually met him on Craigslist a week before. I put an ad out. And I didn't want to go with anyone I knew, and I wanted him...
He was a male prostitute, correct?
Yes. He dabbled in that a little bit. But I said, no matter what, never give me food, never give me shelter, never give me help, because I want to go through this, and I want to lose weight if that's what it takes. I want to be, without a home if that's what it takes.
Did you lose weight?
I dropped about 15 pounds.
Whoa.
That's pretty significant. In a month.
Joe diet. Yeah. If you're looking,
and all right, so what I would be worried about, because I'm like, I like the spirit of depending on people to live, but I don't like hippies. I love the hippie ideal, but I don't like the actual. And you were dealing with a lot of hippies.
How do you feel about hipsters?
Hipsters, I don't mind them, but I really don't. I dislike hippies.
Okay. There was definitely a mixed bag. So if you were with a hippie, like I was with a couple of them, the next day I was with a healer, and the next day I was with a dominatrix, and then a hoarder. So there was just such an eclectic mix of people that I felt like even if I didn't love this person I was with, it would be over soon.
And what did you think you were getting into to begin with, and then what did you learn what surprised you about it, about the experience?
When I first came up with the idea, we were going through an economic recession, the worst since, the Great Depression, and I was pretty isolated from the rest of the country, like how people were losing their homes, losing their life savings. And
you live in L.A.,
yeah, I
you
was
work
in L.A.,
Hollywood.
I was in my bubble. And I really just wanted to see what people were going through during tough times. Are people reaching out through technology and social media, or is that kind of preventing people from connecting? And so it was kind of just this social experiment to begin with. And it turned into much more than that for me. Just really
Yeah, by the end of the movie, you're legitimately moved.
I was in tears. I mean, I had no idea I would be affected that much just from a month of traveling the country. I didn't know I'd get to even travel. I was hoping maybe I could make it up to San Francisco. And I was able to go, starting in Los Angeles, up to Seattle, Chicago, New York.
Would you call yourself a cynic before the movie started, or just no opinion about people? I'm
not a cynic at all. I'm very optimistic about people's intentions.
Yeah, and you were before the start of the movie.
Absolutely. But I didn't ever really rely on complete strangers, for my survival, essentially.
Yeah.
And, just hearing their stories, overcoming obstacles in their lives, I realized it was much bigger than me and my journey and my adventure. It was just hearing these people share their stories with me and realize we're kind of all connected.
Do you find yourself more helpful now? Do you give to homeless people? Do you do more?
Yes, the biggest thing for me was being in LA, working on goals and working for, director, you're just very focused, and I had kind of this tunnel vision. And so the biggest change for me is opening my eyes and realizing there's a whole nother world out there beyond my own. And so yes, I try to give back more. I try to engage with people outside of my social circle, and you know, if I ever feel like disconnected, that's a great way for me to really connect with
And
people.
tell people who produced the movie.
Our executive producer, one of them, is Zach Galifianakis.
Sure.
He's been in a couple indie films.
Sure.
If you've heard of him. And I actually met him on the set of The Hangover when I first came up with the idea. I was
You were begging for scraps at the Hangover.
Yeah, exactly. I was getting great coffee for people. You know, I was talking through the idea with him when I didn't even know I was going to do a documentary, and just kind of pitching loosely, and he said, sounds okay, sounds interesting. And I went out and shot it. We had about 80 hours of footage. I didn't know, if that would even turn into a documentary or not. And then I put together a rough cut, sent it to him just kind of for some notes, and, he said he was very blown away and moved, just
Yeah,
by
no,
it.
he was right.
Yeah.
It's a really, really great movie. If you get a chance to see it, do. Thanks to Joe Garner. Craigslist Joe is playing now on video on demand, iTunes, and select theaters. And now, ladies and gentlemen, less this, more Candace.
Thanks. Still ahead, our Around the Net hijinks include a Superfly robot and a superhero whose superpower is being a dick. That is a lot of super. You don't want to miss it. Everybody knows that one of my favorite things is dancing.
Everybody knows that.
Love me to some dancing. And one of the internet's favorite things is Half-Life 2. So I'm glad we could compromise on this video where someone has taken the redneck super dancy Cotton Eye Joe and paired it with a crossbow Rampage.
But I've been Cotton Eye Joe, I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
There is no way that video was made north of the Mason-Dixon line. I will bet you $1 million that it was made somewhere in the south. Yes.
Because actually, the video was made in Australia.
Oh.
You owe me $1 million.
No, it's south of the Mason-Dixon line. Because,
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Australia to me is like super South Florida.
What?
Like I consider it like one of the Lost Keys.
Why? Why do you consider it this?
Because they're like, it's a penal colony. It's a lot of dirtbags like Florida. Can I say that?
I am from Florida.
This doesn't airflow. Go back to your perch. Go over there.
I'm sorry.
Go back to your...
You didn't know I was from Florida,
No, I had
though,
no
because
idea. I
otherwise you would have
would've. I
never
never
said
would've
that.
said that.
Never, never.
And I never would have. That's not me.
Yeah, of course
Yeah.
not. Okay, so moving on. Unless they're trying to kill you, robots are great. But this walking robot is special because he's strutting to the Bee Gees' 70s disco classic, Stayin' Alive.
That's all well and good, but let's see how this is going to look in the year 2050 when the robots come to kill us.
But in the original, that robot is cool like Travolta. But just wait until it makes Wild Hogs. Oh, such a bad movie.
I'm not going to... Oh, you guys.
So, coming up
No,
next...
I need some redneck
What?
Half-Life. Let's go. One more. Let's go. Let's do it. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
So the last video that I found for you is from Poland, and it features a guy dressed as a popular superhero being a dick, as well as a peppy theme song of America's favorite web slinger.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, that is Spider-Man.
should try doing that to cops in New York or L.A. or Florida or Georgia, because he's going to get shot.
He definitely would.
You know, with great unemployment comes great responsibility. To dick around in a Spider-Man outfit.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard that before.
Yeah, that's from the movie.
I would love to dick around in a Spider-Man outfit.
What is that? I like the sound of that. Go ahead.
Well, just like be a dick, and as long as my face is covered, nobody knows it's me.
Yeah. You know what? I do it with just regular. I just be a dick.
Be a dick. Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, no, you saw it.
And that is all we got from the internet.
Now it's time to rev up a Corvette.
Do you think you can drive like that? I can't, but I'd sure as hell like to. Today, that's what we're going to do. Handling a high-performance sports car at the limit is no easy task. At Ron Fellows Performance Driving School, you won't just improve your driving technique, you'll have a little fun in a $100,000 ride. What are we driving today, Rick?
Well, today we're driving a 2012 Corvette ZR1. It has a 6.2-liter supercharged V8 engine in it. It comes with about 638 horsepower and 604 pound-feet of torque.
And ceramic brakes.
And carbon ceramic brakes,
Which are
absolutely.
going to be helpful in this kind of heat.
It sure will, and they'll stop you on a dime as well.
Yeah. What kind of tires do we have here?
And we're driving on Michelin Pilot Sports PS2s.
Those are good
ZPs.
tires.
Those are awesome tires.
This is a pretty serious machine for a school car. ZR1 is not an amateur's car.
It's not, but the way the car is designed with the computer system and electronic aids, it will help an amateur driver actually become a better driver. And you're right, it's a serious street car as well as a serious race car.
It's a legitimate 200-mile-an-hour car.
Absolutely right. And if you think about it, in the United States, just a half a decade ago, the most you can get out of a street car was about 405 horsepower, the Z06. And now here, 6 years later, we have 638 horsepower.
Over the course of my lessons today, do you think I'll be able to shave some time off my lap time?
There's no doubt. You're going to be a smoother driver. You'll definitely be a quicker driver, and we'll definitely shave some lap times.
What are some of the challenges you see with most of the students who come here?
Corner approach and corner entry is the most important thing there is with road racing. So we're going to work on corner approach, focusing on exit speed as opposed to entrance speed.
First thing I got to do is set a baseline time, right?
That's correct.
So do some before laps, some lessons, and some after laps. See if I get faster.
That's exactly what we're going to do today. Yes, sir.
Sounds like a good idea. Go. Launch control works very well. You got to keep your foot all the way on the floor for it, though. This turn is called ego check, and that's probably because a lot of people crash here. Love the carbon ceramic brakes. Let's straighten it out over the front. And across the line.
All righty, Matt. That was a 132.2. 132.2 seconds.
Minute 32. First lap of the day. 0 instruction from Rick. Let's take a lesson. See if I can get any faster, huh? To see if I can improve my lap time, Rick is going to ride shotgun, loaded with a few pointers.
Starting from the left, but right, looking to the left. Light brake. And looking for the apex.
Every corner on a racetrack has 3 parts: the turn in, apex, and track out, which are the beginning, middle, and end of every corner. Each corner is different, and it's important to know where that apex occurs on the corner to maximize your fastest driving line.
Being patient, waiting. Get your eyes up for the exit. Unwind and begin to squeeze the throttle. All the way to the left side. Keep her to your left, look to your right. Ride the brake lightly. And add your steering. Try to knock the cone over with your mirror. Unwind all the way to the white line. Waiting. Over to the right as far as you go. Lighter braking. Lighter. Let's keep our momentum. There you go. Beautiful.
So I want to carry a little more speed.
A little more speed, exactly. Take a little steering out. Awesome. There, getting better, huh?
Yep.
Look over the tip of that cone. Touch the cribbing from the cone on. Just brush that cribbing right to the bottom, and you will be facing down the track. Beautiful. Did that help out?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. 1 hour of instruction, 10 practice laps. See if I've improved. Never gets old with the launch control. I love the way it thrusts you along. Right, squeeze on the power. Yes. In the 4th gear. Uh-oh. A little late on the brakes there, but I can recover that. Looking way down at the apex here. Lift, brake, apex, turn in, roll on the power, and right across.
Alrighty, man. Nice improvement. That's a 129.7.
129.7. From a 132.2 to a 129.7 in an hour of practice with an instructor. That's real, verifiable improvement right there. Ron Fellows Performance Driving School is pretty awesome. Even someone like me who's relatively advanced can still show up, take 2.5 seconds off my lap time in just an afternoon. But as those of us who have been there know, it's not just about lap times and learning more, it's also about fun.
Let's get the day's headlines.
Direct from Sarah Underwood. Thanks, guys. Right now,
Sarah,
it's
really quick, I just
What?
need a little bit of redneck Half-Life.
Oh,
Let's do it,
yes.
guys.
All right. I liked it.
Should I get out of
was
here?
feeling it
All
now.
right,
All
let's
right.
see
Can I do the feed now, guys?
Yeah, do your thing.
All right, it's Tuesday, August 21st, and here are your top stories. Now, let's be honest, we've all Googled our names, and sometimes the search results are a little horrifying. Well, luckily, our buddies at Norton have a new tool that lets you change your name's top Google search result to whatever you want. It's called Norton Top Search, and it can be yours for the price of $0. You heard me, it's free. Once you get it, all you have to do is pick the website you want to pop up first when people Google you, and then verify your ID using Facebook. You can choose your LinkedIn profile, your website, or that foot fetish video you once started. That was a joke, seriously, don't do that. Anyways, it takes just a couple days for the change to be approved and show up online, and boom, you've secured your online rep. In related news, Rick Santorum has never been happier. Next, in a stroke of internet hacktivism, Anonymous is sticking it to the man, and that man is Vladimir Putin. Now, apparently the interwebs weren't too thrilled with a Russian court's decision to sentence the women of Pussy Riot to 2 years in jail. The ladies got in trouble for their punk rock protest a few months back, and surprise, surprise, after the court's unpopular decision, hackers waged war on its website, posting anti-Putin slogans, Pussy Riot lyrics, and a music video. The Russian courts have temporarily removed their website, but honestly, they should just be happy they didn't have to see a citrus party. You guys know what I'm talking about. Ugh. Now, I admit that Breaking Bad fans like myself can get a little fanatical, but this is an entirely new level of fandom. As a nod to the show, a shop in New Mexico is selling meth candy. All right, relax, it's just sugar. It looks like Little Blue Rock candy, and it's being sold in dime bags for $1. Now, apparently this stuff looks so close to the real deal that it's been used for props in the actual show. This stuff is awesome. Gotta get my hands on this. Attack of the Show field trip, anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Candace, I thought I could count on you. Together. Okay, yay. All right.
They have to tell us yes. I can give the
That's
okay.
true. I'm Sarah Underwood. You have just been fed. Stay tuned.
I wish our next guest had been my math teacher. Please welcome everybody, Danica McKellar. All right. So, Danica, welcome.
Thank you.
You wrote a math book.
4 now.
You've written 4 math books.
4 math books,
I don't
yes.
understand why you would write one math book. Is my point. Explain to me why you wanted to write it.
I was a math major at UCLA, so I love math and I love entertainment, and so I thought, well, why not write some entertaining math books?
All right. You said that women aren't generally good at math.
No.
Why do you think that is?
They generally actually are great at math, but they don't think of themselves as good at math. So they struggle with their confidence. It's really interesting. In my book signings, girls will often say that they don't really get math, and then I say, well, what are you getting? Oh, A-. And then I ask boys, how are you doing in math? Oh, yeah, I'm fine in math. What are you getting? B+. It's just the perception is we think of ourselves as not looking the part.
Yeah, that's the thing. Women are perfectionists, and always feel like they're falling short, and guys are, we have huge egos and are delusional.
Interesting. I hadn't thought of it quite that way before.
This interview's going great, by the way. Well, what do you think? You've heard that study where women do worse on tests when guys are around?
If women are told that they're not going to do as well as the guys, then they'll do worse. Same thing as if you put some Caucasians and Asians together and you say, oh, well, only Asians do well on this test.
Which
the Caucasians
usually
will not.
true.
Well, but that's across the board. It's human nature. We're very suggestible, and we buy into stereotypes way too easily. So my books break stereotypes by showing girls that, you know what, you can totally be the fun and fabulous girl and also be great at math. You don't have to choose between that and being like the smart, nerdy girl.
And what is the book like? Is it just like exercises and problems?
I teach math in all my books, starting with Math Doesn't Suck, which is the first book, which is for middle school girls and boys. Boys learn actually a lot about math in my books and how girls think, which is another added bonus. But yeah, I teach math, and I also teach them about self-esteem. And in this book, in Girls Get Curves, I talk about body image too, which is also a big issue.
Now,
so if you have any teenage girls in your life, this is, you know, it's sort of an all-around self-esteem
Oh, you know what
booster.
I'd like to say about you? I think you're hotter now than you were on the Wonder Years.
Thank you. I love that.
You have, I really do, I think that. I don't know what the people in the booth are freaking out about it. You have kids?
I have one, yes.
All right, you have a kid. Why are moms so much hotter now?
You know what? It's that stereotype thing. We stop buying into the stereotype that you have to change and stop your life once you have kids.
Great, thank you. Thank you for doing that.
No
And
problem.
is it true that you're going to write a book to help women learn how to drive?
Drive? Oh.
Guys, that was, as a guy, let me say that was a great joke.
Every
Go ahead.
single comeback that I thought of was so horribly mean, I just...
Oh,
I
you should have said it. Yeah.
No, my next book is to teach you how to host. Only because you asked for it.
Double snap.
Couldn't resist.
Now I don't even want to continue this interview.
Well, so...
No, all right, so you said, it said on the card, apparently, I can't read, but...
Set him the card. Listen, he's falling apart, man.
No, I'm literally freaking out. Like, the first act was good. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. I got some really good laughs in the monologue. You built your own R2-D2.
I helped. I helped to build R2-D2, yes,
Did
I
a man help?
My ex-husband actually built this thing from scratch, and I came in at the end to assist. We were still married at the time, though. This was R2-D2 was kind of our first child, actually, in a lot of ways. But I had a really fun time. I love Star Wars, huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah,
and I actually got to help build the housing for the color wheel behind his logic displays. You know, the part on his back and the front
Yeah.
that kind of like wavers with color. It was really fun. I actually used a drill press and like drilled 50 holes into this piece of rubber. It was really cool.
Sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You're awesome. Guys, get the book. I'd also like the record to show that I said you were hot before I knew that you were divorced.
That is true, you did.
Guys, this is Danica McCullough. Danica! Oh my God. Girls Get Curved is in stores now. Go get it.
I apologize on behalf of Neil. I'm just going to apologize for him.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Now let's attack this. If you feel like drinking right now, I have good news. It's time to attack these alcohol accoutrements. Now nothing, and I mean nothing, livens up your front yard quite like a plastic pink flamingo. So why not use one to liven up your next shindig? Forget those boring beer bongs. The Flamingo was rated the best college drinking innovation by the Gentleman Scholars at Playboy magazine. Pour your beverage of choice into the beer bird's stomach, lock lips, and hope you don't contract bird flu. Get one for only $20 from Flamingo.com. Now, I have used one of these, and it is awesome, so y'all should go out and get it. Now, if you're looking for something with a touch of class for those romantic nights under the stars in your jacuzzi truck, or perhaps curled up on the couch watching Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, look no further. The Redneck Wine Glass is here. A hearty mason jar holds an abundance of your homemade go-go juice, while the thick glass stem not only flaunts your sophistication, but also helps keep your drink chilled. Buy one for $13 from stupid.com. And finally, carrying drinks around all night can be a total drag. Our solution? The beer holster. Hang it from your belt and secure it around your thigh for a night of hands-free festivities, or plan ahead and use it to tote your backup drink. Personalize your very own at brewholstercolts.com. Now up next, it's a brand new DVDs Day. Chris Gore is here to review The Dictator and Bernie.
Get ready to throw out everything you know about traditional video viewing, because it is all about to change with Condition 1. Backed by bajillionaire Mark Cuban, Condition 1 provides users with 180 degrees of viewing freedom, enabling users to experience places and events as if they're really there. After downloading a video, users interact with videos using the classic touch mode, or switch to an immersive mode that uses the iPad's accelerometer to follow where you're looking. Available videos include everything from sporting events to war fronts, meaning we could be watching things like the Stanley Cup or taking a stroll through Shibuya Crossing in Tokyo in the not-so-distant future. The technology behind the app is also starting to see use by other companies like Popular Science to educate people on sciencey things like the Large Hadron Collider. Get a glimpse of a world you've never seen before with Condition 1, available for free on the iPad.
Tomorrow on Attack of the Show.
Actor Michael Rosenbaum, a.k.a. Smallville's Lex Luthor, drops by the studio live with his new flick, Hit and Run. Then Matt Meyer rates Olympus's new point-and-shoot, the Tough TG1. It's shock-proof, crush-proof, and freeze-proof, but we'll find out if it can stand up to the harsh conditions of Gadgetron. And Jessica Chobot busts out her 10-speed when she sits down with the cast of Premium Rush, including Dania Ramirez and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
It's Attack of the Show tomorrow at 7.
Finding your favorite alcoholic beverage can be pretty tough when there are so many to choose from. But thanks to Cocktail Flow, discovering your go-to mixed drink is fun and easy. This app is an index of over 100 concoctions, most of them you've probably never heard of. Search by base drink like gin, rum, or tequila, or search by color to find that cool drink you saw at the bar. Cocktail Flow provides a visually appetizing breakdown of the drink that tells you what ingredients you need and how to make it. If there's a mixer you already know you like, the app will give you a list of others that you'll probably fancy as well. One of the coolest features of the app is that you can input what spirits, liqueurs, and mixers you have at home, and the app will tell you what you can make. Cocktail Flow is a free app available for iOS, Android, and Windows Phone. But while you're mixing all those fancy cocktails, it's hard to know when you're crossing the line. Now you can have a little help with iDrink Smarter. This app tracks your blood alcohol content, or BAC, by the number of drinks you've had and how long you've been drinking. Begin by putting your gender and weight. Then start the timer before your first beverage and select what kind of alcohol you're having. After a few drinks, your BAC may go past the green zone, which is 0.06. Anything above that increases the likelihood of experiencing drowsiness, hangovers, and impaired judgment. If you're past the green zone, don't worry. iDrink Smarter will tell you how long it'll take until you're in the clear. And with the Buddies BAC feature, you can quickly estimate the blood alcohol content for your friend at the bar. Safely knock back a few cold ones with the iDrink Smarter app. Available on the iTunes App Store for 99 cents. But maybe you lost track of your BAC and you need to call a cab. Taxi Magic will do all the work for you. Just enter your pickup location to get started. And if you don't know where the hell you are, use your phone's GPS to find the closest street address. Magic Booking allows you to order a taxi with only a few taps. It automatically finds the nearest cab company and electronically books the ride for you. The app will estimate the cost of your ride and even give you tracking info and the name of your driver when your ride is booked. To make things even easier, the app allows you to store your credit card for future rides. Magic Booking is available in 40 major cities. For everyone else, Taxi Magic will use your GPS location to find the closest cab companies for you to call. Taxi Magic is a free app available for iOS and Android. Thanks to these 3 apps, you now have a fun, smart, and responsible way to get your drink on.
And now we DVD. going to top
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Sacha Baron Cohen in the unrated version of the film.
Right, right. Well, you know, of course, from Borat and whatnot, but this is a narrative film. You know, it's not one of those where they set people up with jokes. And it's one of those where it's like, you might be disappointed seeing this at the theater, but seeing it on DVD, it was so much fun. I mean, it's vulgar humor, but not quite as vulgar as his previous work. So it's more accessible.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I found it endearing. A guy who, he's the head of this country, he's a dictator, and he gets switched with his double, and he has to relate to normal people.
No, normal people.
Exactly, exactly. And he befriends this girl played by Anna Faris, who's a vegan, which leads to a lot of humor, folks. A lot of humor with that. And he's just, I don't know, I love Sacha Baron Cohen in this.
Yeah.
And the end of the movie has this speech about America, and it's like, you know, if America was a totalitarian dictatorship, it would be like this. And then he begins to state all these things that are actually pretty much true about America. It's the most radical speech in a movie I've seen since probably Fight Club. Which is a weird thing to say about a comedy
weird thing to say.
from Sacha Baron Cohen. And Jason Mantzoukas is really good in the film, too, as pictured here in this helicopter.
Do you think it's better than his past films?
No.
No?
But still entertaining.
Okay.
But still entertaining. It's not quite as good, but I enjoyed it,
Okay,
nonetheless.
so bottom line?
Bottom line is rent it.
All right.
It's a rent.
Okay. What's the next DVD?
Fernie.
Now, this film was based on a true story, right?
Yeah, it's a true story about this guy who's a funeral director who befriends this woman played by Shirley MacLaine. Her name is Marjorie Nugent, and she's like this rich Texas woman. And they travel all over the world. They're kind of platonic friends. And he's this sort of effeminate, strange, very generous guy. He's so nice to everyone in the town. She is mean. She is mean to everyone. And he finally ends up killing her, but then the people... He ends up murdering her, puts her in the freezer. This is all true. And
Wait,
then,
are you giving away things
this
right
happens
now?
about middle of the movie. The rest of the movie is like this trial, but
Okay.
no
That's
one...
a spoiler?
No, this is the middle. I'll only go up to the middle. I'm not going to give it away.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you. For those of you who haven't seen it.
Never give away the ending. So, but the people in the town really like him because he's been so nice. They have a hard time putting a jury together that won't just let him go. And the cool
So
thing
they
is,
know
too,
that he killed her.
Yes, everyone knows.
They care about him because she was an evil person.
He's so nice, and she kind of deserved it.
Okay.
You know, and what's cool, too, is, like, a lot of the people that are pictured in the town, you see interviews with them, they're actually real people from the town. It's directed by Richard Linklater, and he's like, let's just cast real people.
So he didn't cast actors?
He didn't cast actors. He cast some really strange-looking Texans. Very strange-looking Texans. Oh, I loved it.
That's cool. Okay, so what's the bottom line?
Bottom line is rent it.
Okay.
Rent it. A lot of good extras on it, too.
2 rents. Now, what else do you have to check out?
The Raid Redemption! It's finally here!
Now, people are saying this is one of the best action movies in years. What are your thoughts?
Can I just say that the people are correct? This is one of the best action movies in years, directed by a Welshman, this guy Gareth Evans. And it's one of those where it's kind of like, you know, Jackie Chan has this crazy fighting style where he's grabbing chairs and just whatever is in his reach and puts together a fight scene. It's like the fight scenes in Jackie Chan movies, but without the comedy.
Is it?
Because it's brutal and gruesome. I mean, there's a scene where a guy is hiding in between the walls with a machete coming in and out. It's sort of like a horror. It also has aspects of horror in it. I mean, the action in this is just insane. The way that the deaths are, the fighting, it's relentless.
Is it just one long action sequence?
It's pretty much one long action sequence.
Because they're just trying to go from downstairs to upstairs,
yeah,
right?
they're just trying to go through this
That's
building.
The whole movie?
Yeah, they're going through this building floor by floor to get one guy. That's it.
Okay.
That's the plot. That's all you need to know. And then it's just fight scene after fight scene, and it's unbelievable. As soon as you think, like, they can't top that, and then they top it.
What?
It's incredible. Yeah, and also loaded with extras, and behind-the-scenes stuff is amazing, too. People almost died making this film. A couple of the stuntmen almost got killed.
Well, they didn't.
That
makes sense. I don't like those stories. I don't like those at all. So bottom line.
Bottom line is buy this.
Okay, I like it.
Redemption, so good.
Yes. Okay, we have got time for a quick pick.
Oh, we do.
Yes, we
Let's do it. Jay and Silent Bob Get Old. Yes, the musings of Kevin Smith. And in the time that I reviewed this, he created 7 more podcasts.
Wow.
7 more podcasts Kevin Smith's had.
What are you
the time
looking
I
at
just
over there?
said that. I think I was looking around.
Looking
to
at
no
us.
one, the audience.
Okay,
The imaginary audience. Thank you for having me.
For more gore, check out his Podcrash podcast on iTunes. That didn't go far. It's time for today's epic fail.
Here's a human pyramid gone awry in Spain. If you like the running of the bulls, you'll love the falling of the morons.
Fail España! So we're going to check in with the Twitter wall. You can stand here. You don't have to be covered. There. You can stay there. Griff Moy, have you ever tried to get a refund from a witch? Yeah, I got a rabbit's foot, literally. Huh? Have you?
Why do people try to be funny that aren't funny?
Or GamerGuy187, what was the last thing anyone at AOTS used Craigslist for? I go on Craigslist all the time, whether it's something that I'm actually going to go buy or just to browse. I love looking at furniture.
Can they make that site better?
It's awesome!
It's horrible.
I love Craigslist. We're going to have to disagree there. Thanks to Danica McKellar, Joe Garner,